Right, guys. So we're here with the Ariston. We're here with Limitless Music UK, and you right? So what we're going to do is we're going to interview the lads before they go on stage here at the Camden Assembly as part of a Hotvox gig, and we are joined by Clay, Finn, Luca, and Will. Could you guys all introduce yourselves and what you do as part of the band? And we'll start with your good self.
Will, I'm on bass. Is that it?
You could do that, yeah. Do you want to pass it along?
I'm Luca, I'm the lead singer and rhythm guitarist.
I'm Clay, I'm on lead guitar and backing vocals.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
I'm doing the interview stuff now. Here we go.
I'm Finn and I'm on drums.
Fantastic.
Drugs, nice. The night is young. What is your biggest pet peeve then? Bearing in mind you've done a lot of gigs over the past 10 months, right? So I know that you've done Twickenham, I know that you've done a number of the Hotvox gigs, especially around Camden and whatnot, but what is your biggest pet peeve? I can tell you mine first if that helps. Yeah. People talking. During, like, audience members chatting during the gig. If it's like, with your stuff, I imagine it's probably all right because you drown them out. Yeah. But if it's like a folk singer or someone a bit more indie, it's quite difficult. But what is your biggest pet peeve?
To be honest, I think it's not being able to hear ourselves on stage. It really changes the gig for us, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll probably second that, to be honest. Biggest pet peeve, having not been able to hear stuff on stage. I mean, I have it a lot. There's a video from one of our first gigs that we're singing. Actually, that's sort of just me just being a bit crap. We're playing Holiday by Green Day. And I'm going to blame it on me not being able to hear myself. But I was just singing it so out of tune, it was awful.
Yeah, we've had multiple things where one of us, it always seems to be one of us is in the wrong key. Or I remember, Clay, you played Brainstorm 1 fret down the whole time. In Brighton, was it?
No, that was Luca's guitar. That definitely
of course.
wasn't me.
This causes. So, yeah. Not hearing ourselves on stage, also talking in sets, that really annoys me, because I want to hear it as well. More of a selfish thing, really.
And Finley?
No, I can second everything that's just been said, I think. Yeah. To be honest,
Nice and diplomatic.
as a drummer, I can always hear myself, so I never have the problem. Just not having a good monitor mix. That's my main one.
Is it a case then, like as a band, your biggest pet peeve is not being able to hear yourself? Is that the monitors coming back at you guys that you can't hear properly? Is it the way that it's mixed during the actual gig itself, or?
I think it's a mixture of all of it. To be honest, I think so. Sometimes settings change in gigs and stuff. I'm notorious for not saving settings on my guitar.
Did you do it today?
Yeah, I did. Jesus. That's all right, mate. Don't worry about it. It's all good. No, I didn't do it today.
Brilliant.
Right, so bearing in mind, we've mentioned that you've done the gig in Chelmsford in May. How has the set list changed? I know you guys have been doing a lot of writing. I know that you've obviously been away to Italy as well. You've done a few covers in that first set list. Has that changed now?
Yeah. Right. So, I actually write all the set lists out when we've decided it, so it's a good question for me. Yeah. Very important job. Right. Yes, we're doing all originals this evening. Sorry, no, my fault, man. Unless we get an encore for some reason. But yeah, if we don't, it will be all originals. And yeah, we're getting to the point now where we're having to fight over which original not to do, or which originals not to do. There's one. I believe we played a song called "Coffee" when we were in Chelmsford with you lot, and that's had to be omitted for a while now. But it's a good problem to have. But as we always like to mix in covers, to fill out the set and make it like a story, if you will, throughout the set. But we are confident now that we're at the at the point where we can hold in, we can do that with just our own songs. It's very exciting, and we'd love to come do another gig for Unsigned with that, Matt. Get it all filmed and recorded lovely like you do. But yeah.
Certainly try, can't we? The other what I was going to ask about that then, following on from having too many songs to choose from, in regards to your EP that's coming out, how have you chosen what to put onto that?
That's got many.
So it's quite tough because it's now been announced that we've released the title. It's the vinyl. which has got like quite a lot of sentiment for us, because it's sort of like the whole point behind the name was
Just made a load of sense.
was the vinyl, yeah.
The vinyl player, the Ariston. So the vinyl, the record going in the Ariston is the vinyl. Cool.
Yeah. So I don't know, having to choose between the songs that we put on there.
Yeah, at the Ariston, our goal is to always keep on moving as quickly as possible, and that doesn't stop when it comes to releasing music as well. So, yeah.
We'll wheel back a little bit. So regarding the vinyl that's coming out on the 3rd of March, how comes you guys decided to do a live track list as opposed to a studio track list, if that makes sense?
So like the main reason we decided for it to be a live stuff, because that's we want people to feel what it's like to see us live from these tracks. And if you've not heard us before, that's probably the best way for them to be like, okay, these guys are different, a bit interesting. We'll go see them live now because we know what sort of to expect. And it's sort of like a grassroots thing, so then we can look back in, I don't know, 15, 20 years and be like, this is where we started with all the this is the live sound then, and see how it changes in the future. Anyone add to that?
To be honest, no. Nailed it.
No? Yeah? Yeah?
Next question.
So next question I've got for you then, considering you're saying that you've got the body of work now to look at in the years to come and go, oh, that's how we sounded then, this is how we sound now. Do you hear the difference in that development and confidence and all that since when you first started to now?
Yeah, like even back at Chelmsford times.
No, as you were.
Yeah. Anyone else on that?
To be honest, there's quite a lot. I mean, in terms of the sound that we've got in general, we focus more. Our older tracks are much more rock and roll. That's much more what you're getting on the first EP, whereas, our sound recently has gone into a much more indie pop sort of dancey focused track. I'd say that to a certain extent. Obviously, there's outliers, but our sound is changing quite a lot as we go through.
Yeah, it's all part of the development, isn't it? And especially when you guys have been together for a little while and then you start finding your feet within the band and your creative elements as well. So bearing in mind you've got your gig tonight here at Camden Assembly, what is the main objective, apart from the EP release on the 3rd, what would be your main objective for 2023?
So a big one for us is management, probably. Manager, agent, booking agent. So yeah, that's kind of the next step for us. Festival season will be big for us again this year, because that's kind of where we see ourselves playing, like Reading, Glastonbury, all those nice big festivals. That's the dream. Yeah. Also, another one actually is social media. So because obviously we haven't ventured really into the TikTok side of things. Instagram's our main focus at the moment, but actually me and Will the other day have been focusing on doing some sort of like short videos, guitar-based videos. So we're hoping to sort of grow the TikTok page a bit. I think that's our main goals for the next sort of like 4 months or so.
I see a lot of bands are doing that at the moment. They all seem to a lot of bands seem to be doing that at the moment with TikTok and trying to do guitar videos and stuff like that. So it's definitely a good bandwagon to jump onto because it does seem to generate a lot of views and content for people as well. Have you got any pre or post gig rituals?
Getting drunk.
I mean, I wasn't going to put it as bluntly as that, but yeah, having a few pints before we go on. Yeah. I'm actually going to go do that now if anyone fancies a pint after this.
Didn't have to
Yeah?
ask twice.
Sweet. I don't know if anyone else is.
There's another one as well that we, especially in festival season, because it's easier, we go around and like hand out business cards. But anyone in the vicinity, like if we were to do it tonight, we'd probably go downstairs and talk to people, and we'd be like, "Come see our gig," but it's sold out, so can't do that. But it's great, yeah. The lads and ladies here tonight, pretty cool. So yeah, we can't do that tonight. But yeah.
Cool. Right, I've got the last couple of questions for you, right? So this one's, you're going to have to use your thinking caps for this one, right? No, it should be a good one, because bearing in mind you guys have been going for, when was it you actually started? Just so I've got my timescales right. Okay, fine, all right. So bearing in mind you guys have been going for nearly a year and a half now, yeah. What would you say is the best thing for artists to help other artists?
I think it's just don't treat this industry as a competition. That's the main thing. Like, you are helping each other out at the end of the day, and everyone's got to make a livelihood out of this. There is no reason to be competitive, and I think with, you know, things like Battle of the Bands, so many people forget about that. But it's such a supportive community for the most part. I mean, the bands we meet at these Hot Vox gigs are so lovely. They were genuine people. They were really nice. And keeping that supportive community, you'll see them again. And, you know, giving everyone that helping hand. Loosetters that we met with you, we're now doing another gig with them soon, hopefully. So, yeah.
Right, so that was the Ariston. They've got a performance at the Camden Assembly tonight. Plenty of other gigs to come later on this year, so everyone can look for the Ariston Band on Instagram and TikTok. Good luck tonight. Good luck with the release of the EP on the 3rd of March, and have a great 2023.